Hi, good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to today's Science of Mind session. We are very happy to again welcome you on this very special session, which is continuing our NLP mini series. And today, in the mini series, we are on the session 8, the eighth class of this 10-part series. And I highly encourage you to catch up on the other parts if you have not heard them, seen them till now. And today we are going to share something very special. So let's start to focus. So as you know that we start these classes with some wonderful thoughts, some beautiful thoughts to start our Sunday. This is our first quote in the series. It says, "Focus on your dreams, never give up." So always keep your outcome in mind. This new year has started. We have got some amazing goals, amazing plans for this new year. It is important that throughout the thick and thin of life, throughout the highs and lows of life, it is important that we keep our outcome in focus. And that is what the attitude of NLP, the mindset of NLP is also all about. All right. So you will see it when you believe it. Our mind operates in a way that when you have a belief, it looks for things in your surrounding and it just fills the gap. Just like in this picture, it is completing the circle, it is completing the picture. Similarly, if there is a goal that you give in your mind, there is a belief that you hold in your mind, it will definitely look for that, just like a Google search engine. The moment you give something a command to that search engine, it starts looking for it, and within milliseconds it looks for it, and it fires back the responses, the results to you. So similarly, we will see the change if we believe in the change. If we believe in our goals, then we see that definitely we are moving towards it. If we take actions toward it, definitely we see the progress. So it is important for us to see and to believe. Problem is a problem if you are out of rapport with your unconscious mind. So this theme of unconscious mind as a resource of unlimited potential, this is what we have been sharing in this mini series, as well as our Science of Mind classes, that we have to tap into this power of unconscious mind, the power of subconscious mind. How do you do that? It's very simple. You have to believe in it, you have to train it. Sometimes the mindfulness practitioners call it training the puppy, because at times we are creatures of habits, and our unconscious mind or our subconscious mind takes us to the entire habit side of the equation, where it is just going and doing what it loves to do. In psychology, we also call it the pleasure principle. But with thorough consistency and focus, we can train our subconscious mind just like training a young puppy. The basic things of uh, conducting itself, the same thing we can do, and we can form our habits. Okay, so habits are programmable. We can program the success habits, and we need to see that are there areas when we are out of rapport with our unconscious mind. If our unconscious mind is not giving the results that we want us, or is it working for us in counterproductive ways. We have to look for that. So it is important to understand that we have to train our unconscious mind, and this is what this quote is all about. And this is what this course is also about. This is an important one. Yes, never own an illness. I have seen people who start saying that, oh, I am, and then they fill it with the worst possible option which is available. Okay. Oh, I am somebody who always falls ill. I am somebody who's never own an illness. People say, no, I have a OCD. I am a person with OCD. The moment you do that, you start to own that negative results very profoundly. And we don't have to always do that. Okay. Just remember, whenever something good happens, that is the time we have to own that success. That is the time we have to own that self concept. Okay, many a times we are owning up illness. Oh, I'm always like this. Oh, I'm always falling sick. Oh, I'm also never own an illness. In fact, there was one of my mentors who said that if you don't own an illness, the illness has no other place to go and then just leaves you. Okay, so it is important for us to understand that what knowingly, unknowingly we are owning. This is one of my very favorite quotes. Learning is always unconscious. What do I mean by unconscious? Let's say if you are focusing something intently, you are definitely, giving 200% of your mental energy, but that's not how learning is. Learning is always fun. Okay, it starts in a way of fun learning. Learning is a play. Learning is an activity that you enjoy. And when you are enjoying reading something, learning something, practicing something, then you enter these states of flow. Okay? And that state of flow is an unconscious state of your mind. It is absolutely a state where you enjoy it and you become fully alive. So that's how the activity of learning is. Okay, it is always unconscious, always enjoyable. And this is what the learning is we are trying to create in this journey. We are trying to create a journey of understanding these mind sciences with the science of mind club, be it psychology, be it mindfulness, or just like the theme for this mini series, neuro-linguistic programming, which is a science and an art, a technology of success, a technology of excellence. We have already covered a lot of ground. We have already covered a lot of concepts that you can go through, which will help you build a strong foundation in NLP. Why we do that? Because the Science of Mind Club is all about helping each other, helping coaches make more coaches. You have heard me say this all over again, and if you pick up any video from the series, I've been saying the same thing, that it is about incremental improvement. If you invest yourself 30 to 40 minutes in a day instead of studying the whole day, that the practice of incremental progress day by day, week by week, that gives you maximum result. Okay? It's not about hitting the gym one day and just being there for full 3 to 4 hours. Rather than that, even if you are going to gym for 30 minutes, 45 minutes on that gym equipment, the treadmill, it helps you to build that muscle. It helps you to build that consistency. And that consistency takes us to progress. This is a pro bono initiative, is a free initiative, will always be like that. I'm trying different variations. This NLP mini series was one of the variation because people were curious about NLP, and then we can see that what all master classes we can add. These views are my own, have nothing to do, no connection whatsoever with my present or past organization. It is definitely based on my own learning, my own research on these topics. And that's right. If you are interested to learn, we are interested to share. Okay? In fact, there are a lot of coaches, a lot of teachers, a lot of healers who come on our channel, our YouTube channel, our Zoom classes. I'll be inviting them to, and they will be sharing, with people who have a learning mindset. And this community is all about connecting with people every Sunday, coming together for a common theme, learning, applying, sharing, and transforming ourselves, feeling absolutely free to help ourselves and help others around us. There is a Google site which I've created, which will be helpful for anybody to get an understanding of these concepts. And all we want you to do is to be and stay curious. Okay, so let's come to the concept of the day. Today we are going to talk about meta model. If you remember last time what we spoke about was the Milton model. If you see, meta model is the complete diagonal opposite of Milton model. While Milton model is talking about ambiguity, it is talking about artfully vague language, it is talking about using those metaphors, stories, yeah, sharing people things in terms of metaphors and examples and stories. This is a entirely different approach. Okay, and so much so where all these models, they are based on actual psychologists of that time, family therapists of that time, even hypnotherapists of that time, who were very good with that their change work. So while Milton model was based on Milton Erickson, meta model was derived from the teachings or the learnings that Bandler and Grinder got from amazing family therapist called Virginia Satir. And what she was doing in her model of therapy was that she was asking some really, really insightful questions to her subjects, to her clients, which were leading to that aha moment. Okay? So what is this whole idea of asking questions? See, when we ask a question, it is just like that picture which you can see on the screen, picture of an iceberg. That question is like a searchlight, and you are able to see what is visible clearly, and you are also able to see what is invisible. Okay? Many a times, if people just say something on a surface level, but when you ask them questions, when you go deeper with them in that inquiry, definitely you get to the heart of the problem. And two skills which are very important in this meta model is, one is definitely asking the right question. Second is listening deeply. If you just ask the question, if you change the subject, if you beat around the bush, if you are not present there, it will not make sense. But the NLP foundation principle is just you be there in that moment with mindfulness, with presence, so that you can ask the right question. Somebody said that the art of questioning is looking at what generally people uh, see, but they ignore to observe. So it is about observing very, very clearly. Okay? It is about understanding that it's a discovery, it's an art of discovery. What do we discover? We discover where our mind is actually deleting the information, distorting the information, and generalizing the information. This discovery is all about where some of the facts which could have been beneficial for us in going towards our outcome, going towards our goal, these facts get ignored by our mind. For example, a person says that I'm not good at studies. Young people, especially in school and colleges, they get into this trap. One bad exam and they make a judgment. I'm not good at studies. What as an NLP practitioner you can do? See, first thing you can do is observe and realize that is this statement true or is it just in that moment that person is feeling. Many a times people change their view of looking at things, their map of the world, the way how they look at things based on certain experience. Maybe that experience was not the best one. But in that moment, what that person is doing is, what that young learner is doing is that they are deleting and distorting all the other examples that were there where that person was actually doing well in study. So, what can help us orient this person to more hope, to more positivity, solution mindset? Sometimes it is not much, but you can just ask a question. Something like, is it always that you have been bad at studies? That can be one of the questions. Another question can be, oh, that's interesting. Were there times when you were good at studies? Or can you bet $1 million and say that you are absolutely bad at studies? Or how can you be so sure? Can you give an example where you have been extremely bad and yet you have learned something? All these questions, the point I'm trying to make is that all these questions are kind of orienting that person for a mindset of possibility. And this is what we are supposed to do. There is this friend of mine, he says that, you know what, Anupam, life has been quite bad to me. It was so harsh for me. I had to struggle. Whatever I do, I don't get it. Maybe I think it is my destiny. Maybe I think it is my karma. Okay. Or the way, or everybody is miserable to me. I think you might have, when I say this and I narrate this to you, you might think of one person in your friend circle who always talks like this. Now, in that moment of hopelessness, helplessness, victimhood, what that person is doing is deleting, distorting the reality for himself or herself. What we can do is challenge that person's model of mind. And what meta model teaches us to do is that we go from the surface level to a deeper level, help that person go deeper. Is it the actual way how the reality is? Is it like everybody is against this person, or this person's life is full of hardship? Or is this person deleting, distorting, or generalizing things? And you ask some better questions so that you can help this person. So can you give me a guarantee that life has been always hard to you? Can you give me a short guarantee that the life has been hard? And the person will say, yes, but I saw you that the other day and you were celebrating, and I can see some pictures on your Instagram where you are celebrating with people. Or there is a lot of uh, good things that have happened which you are ignoring. What about that time? What about that example? So when we are sharing those counter examples, people tend to see that where were the gaps in their own statement. Okay, now the crack starts to appear in their own belief, that they feel that things are hopeless and helpless and they are a victim. And our role as people who are helping others, as NLP practitioners, is to make those cracks in the beliefs. That negative belief is like a giant iceberg, and we have to put some cracks in it so that it just dissolves. And when it dissolves, whatever negative pattern that they have seen in their life, it dissolves. When it dissolves, negative pattern will resolve. To do that, the methodology or the model or the toolkit that we have shared now today with you is meta model. There are some extremely good questions that I'm going to share with you, some basic examples what we can do. So we have got our 6 friends who can help us. They are called 5 W's and 1 H. I'm sure people listening are aware of what are the 5 W's and 1 H. These are the 5 questions, 6 questions, 5 W questions, and 5 and 1 H question. 5 W questions are who, what, when, where, and who, what, where, when, why. Why I'm just keeping towards the end, because many a times when we ask somebody a why question, if it is not asked correctly, then it can lead to a feeling of an interrogation, like why are you like this, why did you do so. So that is towards the end. But we start with a what question. What happened? Why do you say so? It's a why question, but still with an intent to understand. Or where exactly you saw that life was difficult for you? Or when do you think that life was positive to you? Okay. Or where do you feel that there are some occasions where you saw some success? Okay. Finally, when we lead to the most important question, the eighth question is the how. Some people they feel, and this is a magic question, some people say that why my life is so miserable, why I'm always the victim, why my parents are always complaining. Rather than that, they can ask how I can make my life better, how I can take charge of my own learning, how I can make sure that I create those relationships with those around me so that they care for me, or how I can be a good role model for my parents, my siblings, that I can care, I can love. But that is power question. What meta model teaches us is that you look and observe very carefully for the deletions which are happening in people's world. It's not that the destiny has been unkind to everybody. It's not that God has given somebody extreme wisdom and somebody not. The only fact that you're listening to this podcast or this class on every Sunday, or you're able to communicate well, you have those basic necessities in life, it means that definitely you have that excellence as a human being. That was one of our first presuppositions of NLP with which we started, that human beings can create success. Everyone can achieve excellence. Okay. And what we have as a example for us is all those histories of people who have been absolutely wonderful. We can just pick one of them and we can model that excellence. You remember there was a session that we did on modeling excellence. So it is surprising that despite of that power of subconscious mind, the unlimited resource of this unconscious mind, people still fall into this trap of doubting themselves whenever they are not able to achieve it. So instead of embracing that failure as an opportunity to learn, we many a time get into this negative spiral of thinking that failure is final and that is our destiny. And that is the point where, if as a friend, as a change maker, as a healer, you can come there and you can ask them to doubt that negative belief, or to go deeper from the surface level to the deeper level structures, that what they see is not the reality. That is where, with these questioning, you are able to do justice. And it is, the art is listening deeply and questioning with the intent to understand, questioning with an intent so that the other person also gets a lot of clarity. Because you start these questions and they are initially like a funnel, and then you get to the heart of the problem. You start as a torchlight, finally with your questions you become a laser light. Okay, so to wrap this up, in the meta model, I invite you to kind of go deeper, ask questions. Wherever you find that there are habits which have been stopping you or those around you, ask questions that, where it started. Are there examples where it is not true? Are there examples where you can make things better? How you can make things better? The most powerful question of how. And I'll give you a gift, okay, to go deeper. This gift is called Cartesian coordinates, and it is very helpful for you if you have set up some goal for yourself in this year. Okay, and just imagine that whatever is your goal, the outcome that you want at the end of 2025, to see it in high definition 4K. See it in the 4K in your mind's eye. Feel what you feel, hear what you have heard. If, let's say, you have achieved it, and you experience as if it is 31st December 2025 and you have achieved this. Okay, so what is your goal? Just think in your mind. This is a set of 4 to 5 questions. Outcome is that once you answer these questions, you will get a lot of clarity about this goal that you will achieve on 31st December 2020. Okay, so let us help you achieve your goal with these 5. What is your outcome? What is your goal? Let's say, what is your problem? What happens when you are able to solve that problem? What happens when you have achieved your outcomes? What happens when you have your goal? Think about that. If you want, you can pause this recording, write down your answer. Next question. What happens when you don't have the desired outcome? What happens when you don't have this? Is there a kind of feeling that you get? Is there something that changes in your life? So the first question is, what is your goal? What is the solution that you're seeking for your problem? What is the outcome that you want? Second question is, what happens when you have it? Third question is, what happens when you don't have it? Okay. Fourth question, this is where it gets all the more layered, when you are able to reveal your own deletions, distortions, and generalizations. The next question, what doesn't happen when you have it? What doesn't happen in your life when you have achieved your goal? What doesn't happen in your life when you have solved your problem? What doesn't happen in your life when you've got the outcome that you want on 31st December 2020? You can say, that's interesting. Doesn't happen in my life is all those anxieties, all those frustrations, they are not happening. All that fear of so and so is not happening. What doesn't happen in your life when you have it? This is the fourth question. The last question, fifth question is, what doesn't happen when you don't have it? Okay, so what is your outcome? What happens when you have it? What happens when you don't have it? What doesn't happen when you have it? What doesn't happen when you don't have it? By this time, in our brain, we have something called as a fuzzy logic emerging, where it is getting short circuited. Okay, what happens when we don't get it? What doesn't happen when we don't have it? But if you think about that question, what doesn't happen in your life, when that doesn't happen, you will find your reason. What doesn't happen in your life if you are not able to achieve that goal on 31st of December 2025 is actually the reason why you want to achieve. What doesn't happen is that all that freedom that you envisioned, all that happiness, that is not happening. Again, the life is still the same negative spiral that we are expecting, the same frustration, same anxiety. What doesn't happen is that we are not getting that sense of control, we are not getting that confidence. Or what doesn't happen is that smile on the faces of your loved ones, you're not able to see. So, the point that I want to leave you with is that with all these questions, piece of that jigsaw is getting revealed, which is your reason or somebody's reason of going deeper and discovering the true intention of that change. And the change only starts the day you say that I'm going to question all my limitations and limiting belief. And I'm going to believe and have faith in things that empower me. Okay? Because I am the one who chooses that where do I invest my energy. And if you start with that mindset, you can sense that there's a lot of control, a lot of confidence, and a lot of power that comes to you because you are a human being who is created in that image of the divine. You are created with that unlimited potential, and you can create the excellence in your life. Okay, and you can help others as well with this knowledge that they can definitely believe more in themselves and less in the negative chatter that goes in their mind. Okay? On that note, I take a pause here on this meta model concept. Next class, which is in the journey ahead, is going to be absolutely fantastic. This is where we'll bring this entire NLP mini series together and tie everything back together. So I definitely encourage you to participate in the next class. If you have certain questions, you come up with your questions. We will tell you that how do you tie all these 9 different concepts together, and I'll share the most powerful concept of NLP just to bring this NLP mini series to a closure. That is number one. Also, we will do a Q&A session the week after. It will not be a normal class, but I would love to get into some live question and answers session the week after. So the next class I think will be on 19th of January, where we'll bring the NLP mini series to an end. And after 19th of January, the next Sunday, which I think is going to be 26th of January 2025, is where we will do a Q&A session, or 30 to 40 minutes Q&A session. And I wish you all the very best on this journey. Share this knowledge with others. I'm very glad that there is a great response on these lessons, as well as the 100 coaches, 100 master coaches podcast series. And all we want you to do is take care of your loved ones, take care of your friends, your family, your parents. Keep learning. This learning is absolutely fun. And thank you so much for the active participation. As a thank you note, as my gratitude, somewhere in the month of January or early February, I'll be doing a free workshop to build confidence and to remove the fears. It will be a Google session. If you want to register, you can go for that. If there is a more confidential 101 counseling session that you want, there is the direct number on WhatsApp that I have shared with you. Feel free to send me a WhatsApp. I'll be more than happy to get on a call with you over the weekends. And it's absolutely pro bono. It's just like my gratitude to give back to this community, to give back to, as a gratitude to all my mentors. Okay. So thank you so much for your patient listening. I really enjoyed sharing all these ideas with you, and I hope that you equally enjoyed taking these ideas on board and changing the negative beliefs to positive ones, and making sure that you reach closer to your goals in 20. So thank you so much. I'll see you on the next class, the next Sunday. Thank you, and you have a nice day ahead. Bye bye.